by surprise. He did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash.
Tweet!
He did the
Tweet!
monster mash. From a lovely
Hey Owen! You want to get down to this awesome music?
the vampire's feet.
What? Our friends are here!
We're humble with their
Hey everybody!
joke.
It's time for Art Factory with your host, Miss Marissa. I am so excited to see you guys today. Sorry that you caught me listening to that spooky music, but I'm just so excited that it's the third day of our Halloween craft extravaganza. And of course, I've got my best art friend, Owen the Orange Pumpkin Bird. Say hello to our friends, Owen. How's it going, man? You having a great time this week? Yeah, I know you've been hanging out with Mr. Jacob too, in Mr. Jacob's art time. Well, what have you been doing in your spare time? You've been hanging out with the square pumpkin? That's so silly. I've never heard of a square pumpkin. Spookley the square pumpkin? Is that a story or something? It is. It's your favorite Halloween story. Well, we're definitely going to have to check that out. Let's read it now. Maybe Mr. Jacob can help me. The Legend of Spookley the Square Pumpkin. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookley wasn't like his friends, where they had curves, he had ends.
Spookley was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookley the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square.
While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookley sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and he tried with all of his might, but he couldn't budge, he just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookley wished he was round and could roll everywhere.
That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair. But there are times it's better to be square.
Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines, then off they'd go, bouncing left and slamming right, banging, bashing, what a sight.
Spookley sat there filled with fright, but glad to be square that night.
Suddenly the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled out into the bay.
Spookley knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped and tried. He finally flipped. He was on his side.
Again he tipped, again he flopped, again he flipped, and then
He stopped, right in the gap where the fence had snapped. He blocked the way, the hole was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray!" Spookley the square pumpkin had saved the day. Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack.
Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack, with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash. Then it all went black.
At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked up his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And when the last was moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, he wedged against the broken fence.
Its shell was bruised, its stem was too, but there was brave little Spookley sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there, the farmer knew of all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookleys were the most special that he had ever grown.
And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And, oh! That morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, There were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds, most of them square.
But some were cubes, some rectangular, some were flat, and others triangular.
There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and a rainbow one too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes.
Now every year on Halloween, Spookley's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year.
They stopped, they gawked, they gazed, they stare, then they picked a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square.
Now you know the story of how Spookley grew. Maybe someday you'll tell someone too. And they'll go tell someone who will go tell another. And maybe one day we will all discover you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. Wow, Owen. That was a great story. I loved that the thing that made Spookley different was what made him great. Because that's like all of us. None of us are made the same. There are unique things about every single person, especially at our school. And it's those things that make us different, that make us awesome and unique. Well, I thought of a really great thing we could do for Art Factory today, Owen. We're going to make our own Spookley the Square pumpkin. We're going to need a few things. A black square to start. Some orange squares to fill them in. A brown square for the stem. A green rectangle for the leaf. And I have some circles for the eyes. Let's get started.
Alrighty, my friends, we're going to go ahead and glue down on the black square. Go ahead and get some orange squares and put it on all over the black square. Now grab the brown stem and make sure you put glue on it and put it at the top of your pumpkin. Go ahead and use the green to give it some accent. Wouldn't that be great? Now the last step. Grab the green circles and put them both down anywhere on top of your pumpkin. Next, grab the black circles and put them right on top of the green circles. There, now they look like eyes. Now back to Miss Marissa and Owen.
Wow, our Spookley looks great. I think he looks even better because he's a square pumpkin. I can't wait to see all the Spookleys that you make. Even though they're all going to be square, I know that they're all going to look different because you made them. And you all are the best pick in the patch. Well, I had a great day on our 3rd day of Halloween crafts. Now I think it's time for Owen and I to get out of here and jam some more. See you next time.